Or elbows here like this. Okay, a lot of times for me, I just like to keep my thumbs open. My thumbs closed and just have my hands open, and I cup the elbows like that. And there's a whole bunch of different variations. You can grab the gi and all that stuff is fine. But if I just cup the elbows here like this, what I'm really preventing her from doing and what I want to stop her from doing is being able to pull her arm back. Okay? So I just want to hook onto those elbows, right? So if I've got my legs locked up, and I'm just holding onto her elbows, I'm just stopping her from pulling her elbows back. The reason is because a lot of times she'll pull her elbows back to kind of open up my guard. Right? So I don't want her to do that. I want her to pry my legs open, not until I'm ready. So look here. Thumbs and forefingers are together, and I just cup the backs of her elbows here like this. Now look at my right hand. It's going to come under, and I'm going to hook onto her wrist. Same thing, thumb and forefingers together. Okay? I like to get used to this grip. Okay? It's going to come in handy, as opposed to like grabbing like this. Okay? Yeah, let's move here so they can't see. Hurry up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so look here. So I'm cupping the elbows. Now look at my right hand comes under, and I'm going to hook her wrist. Okay, now I'm going to pull this arm right into the center of my body. I want her elbow just about where my belly button is, right? Okay, now that I've got that arm into the center of my body, I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to put it onto her hip. When I put my left foot onto the hip, I'm going to pivot my head away from this arm, and I'm going to bring my right leg all the way up to the ceiling like a flagpole. Here, like this. Now look here. See how my foot is bent like this? So that would be ballerina toes. Okay, this is called the boot on. Okay, so I want everybody to have their boot on. Because what that does is that engages my hamstring and it makes me very strong to hold on to her here. Okay, so when I pivot, I put the flagpole, boot on, I chop down with my heel. Then my left leg is going to come around. And look here, you see how I squeeze my knees together and my feet go apart? Okay? Now look, both of my hands are going to come to the elbows. I've got, give or take, I've got a 90-degree bend here, here, and here. Okay? Now, we'll just finish the arm bar once and then that's it. Okay? All I'm going to do is just bring my hips up just to, there we go, right there. Okay? So just an inch, right? So again, here, legs locked up, hands on the elbows, my right hand comes under. I hook the wrist. I pull that arm to the center of my body. My left foot goes onto her hip. Now look here. It's very important that I have a hold of that elbow right now. Because if I don't, if I'm just holding here like this, she starts to get that elbow in, that's bad news for me. Okay? But if I hook that elbow, pull your elbow back. Yeah, good. Stuck in there, right? Now when I push off with my left foot, I'm going to pivot my head all the way to the right. Look at my right leg. All the way up here. And my boot is on. First, chop. Then I swing my leg over. Here. Now look at both of my hands are here onto her wrist. Okay? So 90, 90, 90, and then slowly, there, good. Okay? I said I was only going to do it once, but it was so fun that first time that I wanted to do it again. Alright, so look here, right? Right hand comes under. So look at, right hand comes under. I just come under there because if I go here like this, then she starts to wipe my hand away with her. Yeah, go ahead and wipe it away. Yeah. I don't want to, if I get here like this, now go ahead and wipe it away. Wipe it away. Go ahead, it's in there tight, right? Now my elbow comes, pull her elbow right into the middle. Foot, flagpole, chop, over, right? Okay? Let's grab your partner. One of you go ahead and lay down on your back. But just so that we can go through the mechanics first, let me borrow it. Feel free to move in if you guys need to see the different angles of this and that. Okay, so look here, right? Remember, I was arm-barring this arm, right? Okay, now look, I'm going to have her take this arm out. So see that? So now instead of having both of those arms in, give me that arm again, she just has that one out. Now and by the way, there's a whole bunch of ways that you can take that arm out, and that's one of the things that we're going to work on. A whole bunch of different settings. Okay, so look here, right? My left hand, where? On her elbow, right? My right hand, where? Cupping the wrist, just the same like I did that arm bar, right? My left foot on the hip, right? Look familiar, right? Pivot, okay? My right leg up like a flagpole. Here, but look, because her arm is out, it's not underneath of her armpit, it's over her shoulder here. Build your posture up. Yeah, good. See, now she's tall, right? So look at my leg is here. If she's tall, look at my left foot onto her hip. I'm going to push off, I'm going to raise up, and I'm going to hook the back of her neck, and I'm going to pull her nice and tight to me. Look at where my heel is. Right in front of my knee here like this. Okay? If you can do that. If you can't, no problem. Okay? Then I'm going to grab a hold of my shin. I'm going to take my foot off of her hip, and I'm going to throw it over here like this. Okay, so now look here, right? Here's what I got. I got their head and their arm in that spot right there. And this is what I want to do to that little spot right there. Okay? So here, boom, grab, over here like this. So now I'm just going to go here. Okay? My leg on that side of the neck stops the blood going. Her own shoulder on that side of the neck stops the blood going. Lights out. Okay? And there was a great article a while back in Black Belt Magazine about a girl who was jogging. Guy jumped out, tackled her. She was a jiu-jitsu Machado purple belt. She put him in triangle, choked him out. Got her phone out, told him, call 911. He kept waking up, and she'd go, oh, put her back out again. They came. I'm on this such and such trail. They came and they picked him up. Beautiful, huh? So look here, right?
I like that.
Cupping the elbow, cupping the wrist, foot on the hip, pivot, chop, triangle. Okay, let's do it. Like, you know, the Brazilians, they name things really cool things. Like, have you ever heard, like, the Mata Leon? Have you ever heard that? It's like the lion killer choke. I thought that was pretty awesome. I'm like, yeah, lion killer, you know, things like that, right? Omoplata, I thought, oh, that's going to be a cool one. My Brazilian buddy told me, yeah, it means shoulder blade. I was like, oh, man. I thought I wanted to be like, you know, mongoose strangler or something crazy. I don't know. So anyways, right, so it's an omoplata is a shoulder lock we apply with our legs, right? So look here, listen, let me borrow you for a second. Just go ahead and get knees facing everybody just like this, right? Okay. If I was going to twist off her arm at the shoulder, like this, right? Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to twist it off. But look, either way, front or back, it's going to be pretty difficult. If I put a bend in it here like that, right, it's going to be a little bit easier because I have a handle now, okay? So I'm actually going to bend her arm this way to twist her shoulder. But I'm going to use my legs to do it, okay? I know, and listen, when I first learned or was shown an omoplata, right, I was like, yeah, right, that's never going to happen. You know what I mean? Like I thought, no way. But let me tell you, omoplatas happen all the time, and it's actually one of my go-to techniques now, is an omoplata. Okay, so it may seem kind of weird at first, but trust me, we'll get you to the point where it's easy, easy, easy. So look here, right? Here's what I'm going to do. Now, let's just start inside my guard. One arm in, one arm out, just like the triangle. But this time I'm going to take her hand, I'm going to put it under the mat here like that. Okay? So here, arm bar, triangle, omoplata. Okay? So look, I'm going to sit all the way up on the side of the arm that's in. All the way up onto my left hand. Even if I'm tall. Even if I was tall. Single tear, don't matter. No. Okay, so look, all the way up onto my palm here like this. Now look, when I sit back, I'm going to do the warm-up that we just did. And the warm-up was clear path, roll over your shoulder. So, when I sit back and take my hand off, right, I'll fall back, right? So when I take my hand off the mat, I'm going to rock back. I'm going to throw my left leg over. I'm just going to sit down here like this. Easy, right? Come here, let's turn. Let's turn. Let's keep going. Now listen, she's the perfect person to show this on because she bends in mysterious ways. Okay? If I go here like this, I put my legs here like this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to start to raise up like that. That's freakish right there, just to let you know. Most people are tapping right here. What? Okay. Kids, don't try this at home. Okay, so here we go. Right? So one arm in, one arm out. One hand under the mat. Her right hand is under the mat. So I'm going to do this little like crunch thing, like this little Jane Fonda workout sit-up thing. Jane Fonda, nobody knows. Look at them. They're all too big.
Yeah.
Okay. I rock to the right, and I sit all the way up onto my left hand here. Okay? Now, when I sit back, my left leg's going to come over her shoulder. So look at, I sit back. Look, slow-mo. Look at my right knee. It's coming up with me. I sit back. I throw my left leg over her shoulder. I come up. Look at how her arm is trapped here. Okay? Pull your arm out. Pull it out. Take it out. Pull it out. She can't take it out because the way that I'm sitting, I'm leaning onto her forearm, and I'm trapping her arm in there. Right? So now look at, I just kicked my legs away. Remember this warm up? Legs go away. Right? Now here, Be very careful with this one because it's really hard to tell how much pressure you're applying on the omoplata because it's not with your hands, it's with your body, you know. So you think, oh, okay, and you just jump up and then, you know, your partner hates you. Okay, so look here, just nice and easy. Okay, good. And that's not going to happen to most of you. You'll stop way before that. I don't know what's wrong with that. Okay, ready? One more time. Here. One arm in, one arm out. Okay. Jane Fonda. Up. Okay, now here's the mistake. I'm gonna show you right now so that you guys don't do this. I see a lot of people, they go, okay, well, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to throw my left leg over the shoulder. Okay, no problem, I got that. But then they leave their right leg behind. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so be the ball. That's another reference that probably nobody will get. Okay, Caddyshack? Anybody? Okay, never mind. No. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so when you sit back in a ball like that. Okay, so look here, right? Up, down. Good. You can see it stay on her knees too, by the way. Go ahead. Right? See my left arm? It's over her back here like this. I just kick my legs away. Good. Crazy. Okay, go ahead. Working on different setups for the iron bar, the triangle, and the omoplata. And more importantly, the transition between the three. And that's really the most important part of this seminar, okay? So that first hour, I just wanted to, let's just get a little information out. This is what an arm bar is, this is what a triangle is, this is what an omoplata is, okay? Now, after the break, we're going to really go deep into those, as far as like how you set them up, different positions you can get them, where they're practical, where they're not. And the biggest thing is transitioning from those three. Like I said at the beginning, I kind of think of those as the jab, cross, hook, right? The combination of grappling, arm bars, triangles, and omoplatas. And that's, like, to me, what's really important, because here's the thing. I want you guys to look at jiu-jitsu as not just a bunch of random techniques. Like, there's a cool armbar. There's a great shoulder lock. There's a great choke. There's an ankle lock. But I want you to look at grappling and jiu-jitsu as techniques woven together to make up a strategy. Okay? Now you can understand that. You go, oh, yeah, sure. Okay, well, I'll look at it like that. But it's hard to do. It's hard to do that. It's easier. Well, I don't know if it's easier. It's just more recognizable in stand-up, right? Because you can understand, oh, I got to combinations, I got to put things together, I've got to, it's all fluid and constantly. You don't go like this, you don't go, stop. Stop. You can't do that, right? Because while you stop, you're getting nailed, right? So you kind of think, okay, well, I'm doing things kind of together. But when we grapple a lot of times, that's exactly what people do. They lock up onto something and they go, and they stop and they freeze and panic and they squeeze and cry, oh my God, right? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to look at grappling the same way that you would look at strikes. That it's fluid transitions from one position to the next position, to one submission to another. That's what makes somebody really good at jiu-jitsu, is those transitions and that fluid motion between one technique and the other, right? It's like there's no beginning and no end. Like, I remember, you guys know who Jean-Jacques Machado is? Have you ever heard of Jean-Jacques Machado? He's one of my coaches. He's one of the best grapplers on the planet, right? And at one point, he probably was the best. Abu Dhabi winner, won the world championships more times than I can count. Just a phenom. The guy's incredible. And I was rolling with him one time, and he would go for something. He'd go for an armbar. And I would defend it. Now, when I mean defend it, it's pretty easy to defend something. He's pulling your arm straight. Pull it back in. That's a legitimate defense. May not be very technical or smooth or cool looking, but it works, right? It's much easier to defend things than it is to attack, right? Somebody choking your neck, that takes care of a lot of chokes. Somebody's pulling your arm, pull it back in. So he would go for something and I would defend it, and he would then just go to the next thing and I would defend that, and then he'd go to the next. I said, pretty soon I just couldn't keep up with him. I said, man, it always seems like you're like 10 steps ahead of me. Why is that? And he said, because I'm like 10 steps ahead of you. And then I remember I asked him like one time, I said, you were going for that arm bar, When I defended that armbar, you put me right into an omoplata. Was that armbar a setup? You know? He said, no, you just defended it. So I'm not going to try to keep doing something that's not working. I'm just going to move on. And so that's really the importance of this seminar and kind of linking these three things together. And by the way, we're doing it with an armbar, a triangle, and an omoplata. We could do it with many other things in jiu-jitsu. We could do it with positions. We could do it with other submissions, you know. But just for right now, we're just doing it with an armbar and triangle. So that if you go for an armbar and that is getting defended, you just move on and move on. You hit a wall, you don't keep trying to push the wall down. You go over it, you go under it, you go around the side, you go around the other side. You know, I mean, sometimes you go through it, but that's hard. It's much easier if you could just kind of go around it. And that's what we're going to try to do in the next, half of the seminar. So, really quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you armbar, triangle, and an omoplata drill, just a real basic drill, right? We'll maybe have you guys do it a couple times, and then we'll take a break, okay? And this first drill is just to kind of show you how those link together, okay? If I'm going for an armbar, so I've got Alyssa inside my guard, and I'm going for an armbar. One of the most common ways for her to defend that armbar is, if you're trying to hurt this, well, I'll take that away from you. They'll pull their arm out. It's very common, right? Okay, so look here, right? My left hand's cupping the elbow, my right hand's coming under and cupping the wrist. My foot goes onto the hip, I flag pull, I chop, I throw my left leg over. I want to armbar her here. She's very strong, she pulls her arm out. I take my left leg, I bring it around the head here like this, I pivot to the other side, and I triangle. Right, so that would be a very simple way from going from an armbar to a triangle. She defended the armbar, so now I have to triangle it, okay? So here, look. Chop. Ooh, look at that. That was a bonus kicking you in the head. Chop.
I call it.
I throw the leg over. She pulls her arm out. Okay, so now look at where I'm at. I don't have that arm. Can't armbar it. But I've got one arm in and one arm out. Okay? So I bring my left leg and I put it here like this. Now look, see my left toe? I'm going to bring my left toe all the way across her body. As my left toe goes all the way across her body, my head's going to go to the left. Now look at, I just take my right leg and I throw it over the top. Squeeze and finish. Okay? One more time. Trap the elbow, trap the wrist. Here, here. Pulls the arm out. Leg comes over. Finish the triangle. Can you guys do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do it. Let's. Okay, do a little bit more. A little bit left. No. Okay, so look here, right? So the mechanics of the triangle choke are her leg on one side of my neck, my shoulder is to the other side, and that stops the blood going to my brain, and then I go into this nice peaceful little sleep, right? Okay, so that's the idea of the choke. So I'm looking for ways to stop that choke. Okay? We went today, when we were kind of training earlier today, I gave several different ways that people are going to escape the triangle, and then we were kind of countering and continuing to go. This is one that I didn't do because I figured we'd do it tonight at the seminar. But it's a very common one, even for people that don't really know jiu-jitsu. They just know, I'm getting choked here and I don't like it. Okay? So look here. So here we are right here. Now I know as she starts to squeeze her knees in, I'm getting choked. So in order for me to stop her from squeezing her knees in, go. Right? I just create that. I can't do anything about this space, but I can sure do something about this space. So I just open up my arm like that. Now she tries to finish. It sucks, don't get me wrong, but but I'm not choking. I'm not getting choked, right? Okay. All right. So that's the first way that we're going to talk about her defending my triangle. Let's start right from the very beginning. Pull the arm out. Triangle. Now, you've got to create some space on the left side. So I want you to build your posture up and wrap your arm there. Let's turn here. So, right? Yay! Now, you can do it a little bit more methodically than that too, right? Look here, right? Arm bar. Pulls it out. Triangle. She defends. So I don't need to be fast or fancy. Alright, now here. Dollar bill. Okay. Okay, look, right? So here's my drill. Arm bar. She defends. Triangle. She defends. Omoplata. Okay? Slow, look here, right? Arm bar. Triangle. Defend. Omoplata. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good, good. Now look here. We'll get to all these different little variations. But now I know I'm going to take, and I want to take her hand here, and I want to scratch her own head. So I'm kind of going like this, like I'm lifting up, right? A lot of times reach underneath here with this arm. Give me that hand. Right? Grab your own hand here like this. Right? Right? So she's stopping me from doing that now. Right? She's reached underneath here. Right? So look at what are you going to do? You're going to come here for the arm bar. Right? Okay, so it's going to be endless. But look, here. Okay, here's what we're all going to do. And I'm going to walk around, and I'm just going to let you guys do it at your own pace. It's slow-mo jujitsu. Right? Slow jitsu. Okay? Nice. Okay, let's do it. Or smaller, right? I may not necessarily want to have somebody in my closed guard. Maybe I do, but maybe I don't, right? And the problem with that is obviously then they'll kind of lay on you, put all the weight on you, kind of smash you and crush you a little bit. Okay? So sometimes I want to open up my guard and create some space so that I don't get squashed, right? And here's the thing, right? And this is something like just a fundamental concept that will help you in all positions if you're smaller, not just the guard, but most definitely applies in the guard. If you want to be in control of the distance, then you have to have a two-way action, a push and a pull. Right? It makes sense, right? If I just push on somebody, they'll back away. If I just pull somebody, they may squash me. So in order to maintain my control and be in charge of that distance, I have to have a push and a pull. Okay? So if I am in a closed guard, and I don't like how things are going because I don't feel like I have enough of a push, right? Because they're laying on top of me and they're squashing me, then I can open up my guard and play different kind of open guards where I have a little bit more room. One of those guards is called a cross guard. There's butterfly, there's a million guards, by the way, too. Closed guard, rubber guard, spider guard, butterfly guard, blah, blah, blah. There's a million, right? I can keep going on and on and on. One of them is a cross guard. And what a cross guard looks like is I control one side of her body. And the reason why they call it a cross guard is because I have a cross grip onto her sleeve. Okay? So look here. So here's a closed guard. Legs locked up. Here. So if I'm going to transition into a cross guard, my left hand is going to come across, and I'm going to grab a hold of her left sleeve. Here. Now look here, you guys, there's a whole bunch of different ways to grab a hold of a gi and a cuff. Okay? The one thing that I would suggest is don't put any digits inside. No thumbs or fingers. That's how they get broken. Okay? So that's the one thing I would suggest. Okay? And I've seen it too. It was horrible one time. Man, look at this guy, Richard Brangle. I stuck his finger inside my sleeve, and I didn't mean to. I just wanted to pull my arm back, and his little finger was out like this way. It was like, we were like, oh, dude, get out of here, you're freaking me out. So, don't put your fingers inside the cup. That's my suggestion. You can go here like this. This is what they call, like some people call a pistol grip. That's pretty strong. That's good. Right? I like that. What I like is I curl the cup here like this, and then I just hang my little forefingers in. And the reason why I like that is because I'm not very strong. So I don't need to squeeze now, I can just hang on it. So if she tries to pull her arm away, I mean, she can throw me around like a rag doll, but she's not going to get my arm off because I'm just connected. If I'm here like this, I have to do like that to hold on. And she pulls her arm. I may be strong, but I may not be strong. But that's, you ever wrestle and you get done and your forearms feel like they're on fire? It's probably because you're too grabby, right? Here, now, she can throw me around, but I don't need to squeeze my hand to hold on to it. So that's what I suggest, but it's up to you. So look here, I got that grip, cross grip. Now look at my right hand here. I'm going to take and I'm going to grab a hold of the pant right here at the bend of the knee. Now look, she's got these pants on. She's tapered her D. She's got it all tight. They're made out of spandex. I can't get the grip. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bump her here like that, and then I'll get the grip. So now look at my grip. Same thing here on the pants. My forefingers are in, right? So she can now like try to slide your leg back. I mean, she can slide her leg back, but it's not me fighting that grip. It's just me hanging on. So now look what I've got. I got that sleeve, I got that pant leg. I got one side. Now look here, I'm going to take this foot, I'm going to put it right here on the hip, and then I'm going to back away. I've created this little bubble now. It's hard for her to smash me. If she comes in, right? If she comes in, if she backs away, so I've got a two-way action. I've got a pull and I've got a push. And I've preserved, where is she? I preserved my bubble, right? When you're rolling with bigger people, you need to have a bubble. And don't let them pop your bubble, okay? So it's very deep. Okay. All right? So, here, she's popping my bubble. I don't like it. She's popping my bubble. She's crushing me. So look here. Cross grip, same side grip, foot on the hip, back away. Right? Now I've got my two-way action, pushing my pole. And I've preserved my bubble. Okay? Let's grab your partner and let's go from a closed arm. Right? So look here, right? Quite often here, once I go like this and I back out, you know, they'll want to grab a hold of my pant leg or something like that, grab you, right? Because they don't, you know, so look here, right? Right? And then look, I'll come back in. Right? Or I can go like this, and I can put my foot right here under her shoulder, and then I can just point my toe and come back in. So let's do this, you guys. Look here, right? Cross grip, pant grip. Foot on the hip, back out. Foot onto the shoulder, point your toe, pull yourself back in. Triangle. Okay, one more time. Cross grip, pant grip, foot on the hip, preserve the bubble, pop the bubble. Okay? All right. My hips go out in that direction, right? So I go here like this. I hip out in that direction so I can get that arm. If I was going to go for this arm, my hips would go out in that direction. Makes sense, right? Okay. So look here, I get the cross grip. I get the pant grip here. I needed to bump her up a little bit. I put my foot onto her hip. I back myself out here. Now what I like from this position is I really like them to try to grab a hold of my leg. Right? If she grabs a hold of my leg, I just look at how I separate that arm all the way away from her. Oh, it's great, right? If she's a little bit savvy to that, the best thing for her to do to prevent the triangle would be just to go here like this. Just here, like you're covering from a hook or something, right? So look here, right? If I go here like this, I back out, and then I go and just cover. See there, I'm not going to get the triangle, right? She's defended that. So I go here, she just defends that triangle. So my leg is going to come over the top of her head, and I'm just going to rest my calf right here onto her shoulder. Right? Now I'll do this quickly, but we'll just go over the mechanics here. So if I'm going to arm bar this arm, my hips need to go out in that direction. So look, I still have a hold of her pant leg, and I still have a hold of her sleeve. I just pop my hips out in that direction. Where's her arm now? I just throw my leg over here like this. I've got an arm bar. Okay? So look here, right? Here, boom. I back out. I'm going for my triangle. I'm going for my triangle. Right? And there's my arm. Okay? So here, back out, come in, she defends, kick your hips out. Here, arm bar. Okay, nice and slow. Look. Here. Cross grip. Foot. Get my bubble. Right? Come in. She defends. Leg over. Hip out. Now look, I don't care where this lands. It can come underneath her armpit. Okay? It can come here. Right? I try to get in there as deep as I possibly can. So I'll go all the way here like this if I can. Look. Now look here. Both of my hands come right here to that arm. Just lift up on. There you go. Okay? All right, let's do it. Sir. Cross grip. Pant leg. Back out. Okay, now. Bridge, step, roll. Oh. It's like 4th of July. Okay. So, right? So, what was the first thing that we did?
Cross guard.
Triangle, right? Cross guard to triangle. Then cross guard to arm bar. Cross guard. Omoplata. All right. So look here, right? Let's break this down. It's not as hard as it seems. By the way, there's a sweep there too. But that's another day, another dollar, right? We'll go here like this. We'll go here, and then I quite often I'll go. Right. But look here, right? It's the same motion. I go here, like this. Now I'm just going to go like this. Now look where her arm is here. Right? I'm still holding onto her pant leg, and I'm still holding onto her sleeve. Now I'm just going to roll over my right shoulder. Look at her arm, still there, still there, still there, still there. Now I'm here. Okay? Here. 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 Right? One more time. Cross grip, same side, pant leg. Back out. So, here I'm stepping, I'm bridging, and I'm coming to my knees. So I'm right here like this, right? And I'm just going to roll over my right shoulder, keeping my arm in nice and tight to me, and I've got it on the pocket. Okay, right? There you go, nice and easy, right? Now look, I still have a hold of her pant leg right here. Okay? When I let go of her pant leg, I'm going to reach over her back. Now I could finish this, right? But the thing about this is holding onto her pant leg here, it's going to stop her from rolling out of this. And I've said this a couple times. You guys know what I mean by rolling out of it? So look here, if she goes this way, and she rolls over that shoulder, go. To get out of this omoplata, right? I mean, she didn't completely get out of the position. I still kind of have her arm and stuff like that, but that's a way to get out of the omoplata, right? So as soon as I can, I put my arm over her back, right? So I just go here like this, roll out of it, just to stop her from rolling out of it, right? Sometimes I go here like this, right? I hold on and she's rolling out of it anyway. Go ahead, roll. I tried. I put her right under my triangle. But if I just throw my arm over her back, it'll stop her from rolling, okay? Sometimes, and I got this great video too. I did this competition like in 2005 or something. This Grapple Mania is what it was called. And I was going for an omoplata on a guy, and he was just so quick and athletic. So every time I started to sit up, he would roll for the omoplata. So then I would roll and continue to keep going, and then I would roll. And we did that about 8 times. And then we went out of bounds. They started us back up again. It was good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, you guys. Nice and easy. Don't overthink this. Okay. Cross grip. Cross guard. Step. Roll. Okay? All right, let's do it. So, here's how I go, just like I went from a closed guard to a cross guard, here's how I go from a closed guard to a butterfly guard. Okay? I've got my legs locked up, my hands are cupping the elbows. I slide my hands down to the sleeves, and I get the grip here in the sleeves. I unlock my legs go straight, my hips come up. Now I rotate my legs like this. Now my top knee comes in, I open her up. My top knee comes in, I open her up. Now, what do I gotta have to have control? Two-way action. I push and I pull. So I'm pulling and then pushing here like this. So now if she starts to smash me, come in, smash me. Okay, good. Back away. Right, good. Get your arms in between my legs. So now I've got control somewhat. Now listen, I'm not going to hang out here like, I get here, I'm here to attack. The first one is pretty darn easy, really. Right? I'm just going to take my foot off of her hip, and I'm going to go like this. I mean, that's pretty basic, right? I mean, look, I got the pressure here. Like this, I back out. Look, I still have pressure. Take your left arm back. All right? She can't. And then I just go here like this, and I hook her head, right? Triangle. Okay? So now here, look. Same thing. I pull my foot in here like this, and I hook the back of her neck. And I go to her arm. Right? Now look here, right? I've got here like this. Look at, I just start to lift up one of my legs here like this. Right? I grab her elbow. Okay, right? So that's how you would do this armbar triangle omoplata from the butterfly guard. Another thing is, have you guys, you know what a sit-up sweep is? Or a fan sweep? Some people call it a white belt killer. Okay, what it is this, right? If I've got this position right here, yeah, she's kind of sitting back on her haunches a little bit here like this. I go like this, and I go, oh yeah, here we go, and I just come on up. You laugh, but you'd be surprised how many people you can get with that. Especially if you start going like this. You start going, and then they start, and then you start going like, and then you get this tug of war, and then you just come up. You'd be surprised, okay? But one of the things that's going to happen, now watch here, go ahead and lay down your back. A couple things are going to happen, right? Number one, so unlock your legs, post them into the ground. Good, and post them in the ground, yeah. Rock here and start to sit up. Right? It's legit, okay? Okay, look here. So I'm here like this, right? I'm going to go for my sit-up sweep. So I go here like this. I start to sit up. She pushes my chest. Right? I got an armbar, right? Okay, here's another thing. Watch this now. Okay, go ahead and lay down your back. And so that's one. Push him back down. All right, here. She starts to go for the sit-up sweep. Go ahead. Close your feet. Go ahead, knock me over. Go. Sit up. Look at that. See? I post my hand. If I don't want to go in that direction, I post my hand. Right? So here, I go here like this. Alright? So she pulls her hand. So go for a triangle. Here's the big guy move. Are you ready for this? Go ahead and lay down your back. Okay. Sit up sweep. The tackle. Okay?
I like the tackle.
Yes, I know.
Defending things doesn't need to look pretty. Okay? She tackles me. Right? So, butterfly guard, armbar triangle omoplata. Sit-up guard, armbar triangle omoplata. Right? So all these different things from the guard, right? I can hit them all from here. Now, what I want to do is, let's just take like a 2-minute break, grab a drink of water, and then when we come back, we'll talk about hitting these things from a top control position. Everybody's, you guys are all good. You guys have all done jiu-jitsu, you guys train and stuff like that. But a lot of times when you go to schools and places that don't do grappling, and you tell them, okay, we're going to work some stuff from the guard, they go, huh? Like what? On my back? Forget it. I would never want to fight back there, So usually I go like this. I always go, okay, guys, here's how we're going to start, right? And I teach them a whole bunch of stuff like this, because meatheads can understand this. I'm on the top. Who has not, I'm going to make you eat dirt, spit in your face. But, I understand this, okay? That's the guard. That's the guard. And everything you can do from the top control, you can do from here and more. Right? So that kind of takes the fear out of it. But now, let's reverse that. All the things that I just did from the guard, I can do from up here too. Okay? And that's what we're going to start to talk about. All right. Let's take a real quick break. Grab some. So I get here, I maintain it. She starts to turn. Good. She starts to stack me. Good. She starts to back out. She starts to stand up. Now that she has no other options, now I just go, done. Right? My goal in jiu-jitsu is to systematically take away all her options. That's really what you're doing in jiu-jitsu. You're systematically taking away all their options. And I like to whittle it down to there's only about 2 options left. And those 2 options are, I win, you lose. And that's it. So that's the first thing I do is once I get to that triangle, I just go, okay, well, I'm going to stop her from escaping it. Now that I've stopped her from escaping it and she has no more answers, triangle. And by the way, too, you know, Alyssa has got a great triangle. And she's hit triangles in tournaments quite a bit. She's done pretty good, won Naga and stuff like that. Also, like, which I'm glad that she hits triangles because I didn't hit triangles a lot. It's one of my things. I hit triangles. I won the world championships with the triangle. You know, so, and I think one of the things that kind of sets my triangle, I won't say apart from everybody, because there's obviously people that have way better triangles than I, but I mean, one of the things that sets my triangle apart from some is that fact that I look at it not as a 100% sure thing submission, but I just look at it as a great position that I better maintain before I start to attack. Think about it very much the same way you would think about the mount position. If I step into the mount position, the best time for her to escape is either when I first get there, right? So if I go here like this, I'm coming to the mount position and then she escapes. Or she didn't stop that. I got to the mount position. Now the best time for her to escape is when I start to make my move to attack. Right? But if I go up, stay right here, okay? Don't move. Okay, escape. I mean, come on, you know, I've already settled myself down. You know, that's the hardest time to escape. So I look at the triangle like that. Most of the time when people throw on a triangle, they just feverishly try to finish it because that's how they look at it. They look at it as a finish. Oh, I got a triangle. I better go. And that's the best time for her to escape. In fact, those are the 2 best times for her to escape, and I just put them in one. As soon as I get into it and when I'm trying to attack. Well, I just did that. I just threw it on and now I'm just trying to attack. The most optimal time for her to escape that. The best time for me to finish it is this. After I run through the checklist. Can you turn? Can you back out? Can you stand up? Can you go anywhere? No? Okay. Right? And by the way, that's my favorite noise. Okay? So look at it like that, and I guarantee you your triangle percentage will go up. Cool. All right. Really appreciate you guys coming out for this seminar. This is my job. This is a huge part of my income, and don't get me wrong, I love my job and I'm happy to go. And the truth is I just put my hand in and I make a fist right here. Okay? But we have to be so we're going to use it. So I pull, my right hand comes in and I make a fist. It's important that I make a fist because I'm going to put all my weight onto my hand. We've talked about this before, I know, when I've been out here. So I go here like this, right? I block this elbow, I lean forward, I put all my weight, and I slide the corner here like this. Now I'm just going to tuck my leg under, lean forward, and I sit back, and here's my arm. Pretty basic, right? Okay. Block. Just slide this knee up. Yeah. Now look, I'm just going to take my right leg like a front kick forward, and I'm going to tuck it. Now, go ahead, feel free to lean post and step, and now you can start to attack this arm. Right? So real easy armbar right from the mount position. Okay? You guys have a lot of you guys seen that armbar? Really appreciate you guys coming out for this seminar. This is my job. This is a huge part of my income, and don't get me wrong, I love my job and I'm happy to go. And the truth is I in here like this. I'll get that arm right, no problem. Okay? if she takes this hand and she covers the top of this one, I'll still get that on. That's over the top, right? So look here, meaning this, right? So look, if I get inside here, I will lift up on that lapel, I slide my hand in, get here, I go here like this, look here, right? It's easy for me just to pry this off top. So what would be a problem would be if she was covering this hand with this hand, go. Now, she's strong there. Okay, so now look at this, right? And this is not what we're going to work on, but I just want to show you this, right? If I go here like this, and I got here, and I see now that I'm going to run into a problem, don't go ahead and sit back, right? Because you know that you're going to be in for a fight. Sometimes you don't know that until you sit back and you start going. But if I get here, a lot of times I can just go, okay, well, I'm just going to go for the other one, right? But sometimes you can't make that choice right there. You know, things are going, right? So I go here like this, I get here, I go right here like this, and then I realize she's covering the near side arm with the far side arm. Okay, so now I'm here, I get this fight. Okay, so look here. My right hand grabs a hold of my leg here like this. Okay, right. I'm going to open her up like this. I'm going to take my toe, I'm going to come in here like this, and I'm just going to pull her up nice and tight to me. Okay? So, by the way, too, pulling her up, usually you don't have to, because usually